Leanne, hello my friend. Thank you for the topic. Surrendering to all that is. That's an important one. I think we're all going through that. Well, of course we are. Very poignant. Actually very poignant even in my own life. Yeah. Surrendering. It actually rang a bell when you said that. As it relates to a relationship, a friend of mine. That came up. And it's come up in a lot of other things, so it's very poignant that you bring it up now. Surrender's a big thing. It's a big part, and it's one of the toughest things. And I think it's one of the ultimate things, if not the thing. Because resistance is what causes all our suffering. Resistance of what we actually are, where we are, which is heaven. It's just paradise. Accepting what comes across and letting the mind play and judge and want and miss all that we do have to keep focusing on what we don't have and all that stuff. But it really comes down to resistance. All of this suffering that we have is resistance. When we suffer in the mind, it's because we're resisting what is. But I don't like that somebody said this. We won't let it go. We were resisting it. When we go in a relationship and someone's really opening up and giving us their love and for some reason we can't accept it and we run away, it's resistance. When there's certain things about what we're doing that are self-destructive, we go in denial, and we do all these things and act out, it's resistance. The world itself is an expression of resistance. We live in paradise in abundance. Yet look at all the competition and death and war and all the things that happen when we have enough for everybody. We absolutely have enough space, medicine, food for everybody. Anything else is a lie. It's not true. There's enough for everybody. So why are we creating this if there's enough for everybody? It's because we're resisting the truth. We're resisting where we are. We're in paradise. When we don't self-love, when we beat ourselves down, we're resisting what we really are. And what we really know and what we remember when we're grounded and we're in that wonderful place and we remember for a while until we get amnesia again. So surrender, no matter what we're talking about, it usually does come to surrender. It really does. Even when people are going deep into spirituality and want to just let go of suffering, when you look into Buddhist teachings, they talk about that. And it's about surrendering and letting go. Letting go. So pretty much anything in our lives, no matter how small or big or grand, it's always going to come down to surrender. Because we're trying to control and define and label and resist doesn't serve us. So, yeah, it's so big. That topic and fantastic. I just don't know where to go with it without repeating what I say in a lot of videos and going on and on and on and on and on. But I'll go a little bit more. But I think I'm going to keep this one short because it's kind of self-explanatory. But I'm glad you brought it up. It really needs to be pointed out again because you hear a little bit about it, but you don't hear it as a real specific topic. So yeah, surrender to all that is. Because when we flow with life, when we accept it, even when things happen, challenges that are really tough, there's always things to be learned. There's always jewels that come out of it in the end. There's never any suffering you go through where no good comes of it. That's not true at all. You either learn lessons, or you met a very special person, or it led to down the road 10 years later something amazing, and that would have never happened if you hadn't gone through the other thing. There's always things and blessings. We're so blessed in every moment. Everything is a blessing. Even the tough stuff, it's all a blessing that we create. So when we surrender to it, when we accept and surrender to what is, we're able to flow with life. We're not resisting. And when we're in the flow with life, that's when the vibrations pick up and things speed up and synchronicity happens and we end up more happy and we draw more of what we want because we're already feeling it. And so that all can be assisted and sped up when we surrender. And same with, if you're going in a relationship, if you really surrender to what it is, surrender to not trying to control it. Accept the person for who they are. Accept that there's a reason you're in this relationship, that It's magic to be happen from it. Yeah. And then spiritually, like I said, surrender. Surrender to the magnificence. Surrender just to being. To not trying to think it all through and have all the answers. So yes, it's a big subject, but ultimately, anything you're going through, a choice will have to be made at some point. It'll naturally be made. You'll struggle for a while, and then you'll finally make a choice, and you'll move in another direction. And before you do that, surrender will happen. Some form of surrender. Just let go and flow with it. Let go and flow. We see it in nature. It teaches us that. Nature doesn't resist. Yes, there's things that happen that we see. A lion kills a deer and this and that, but if you really pull back though, there's really no resistance. Everything is in balance. Everything is in balance. Everything works itself out. You see an animal sitting in a field. Is he sitting there stroking his head going, oh, I'm such a stupid deer. Oh, I don't know. What am I going to do for food tomorrow? Oh, I'm the ugliest deer there is. Oh, no, they're not doing all that. They're just there. Okay, sure, they don't have our mind capacity to do that, as far as we know. But the point is, they're just being. They're just surrendering. They just are in the moment. We see that when you see a dog happy as can be in the corner licking his balls. He's just surrendering to the urge to lick his balls. That's it. That's surrender right there. So yeah, we could go into surrendering all day long because it always comes down to surrender. But I think the fact that you just brought it up is good. Surrender. Surrender. When you feel at odds with something, just surrender. Surrender and accept what is. Because what is, you can't change it. All you can do is change your perception of it. That's it. That's all you can do. Once it's happened. I mean, once something's actually happened, and you can make steps to change your life, and you make steps to prevent, and you can do those kind of things if you do it from a good place. But still, in the moment, just accept it. It makes life so easier when you surrender. You know, I see it all the time. I see people, their cars break down, and they freak out, and they turn it into a nightmare. And when I haven't driven in a long time, I don't drive anymore. I mean, I can drive, but I just choose not to have a vehicle and just to save on the environment and all that kind of stuff. You know, just my own personal reasons. But when I did used to drive, when I broke down, it became a farce. I used to laugh. I'd be broken down in traffic with somebody. We'd start laughing about it, and we'd have a good time, and we'd just get through it, and it made it so much easier. It really did. I used to have I have crappy beater cars all the time, so I had broken down. I got locked out. I once got locked out at a campsite in the middle of nowhere, and all the food was in the car, and we went without food for 3 days. For 3 days until we could track down the people that ran the campsite. It was winter time. It was cold, and you know, that could have been a nightmare. A lot of people would have turned that into a nightmare by not surrendering and accepting, but we just surrendered and accepted right away and just rolled with it. And we had a lovely time. And eventually we got into the vehicle, but until that happened, we just rolled with it. So it makes life so much easier when you surrender. So it doesn't really matter what it is you're going through. At some point, surrender. It serves you to surrender. To just let go. Let go. Stop trying to control. Stop trying to define. Stop spinning in the mind. Just be. Just be. Life is magic. Just be. Surrender to the magic that is you. Surrender to the magic that is planet Ocean. And surrender to the magic that is life.